So 10-minute laser coaching calls. All right. Now, the homework for the virtual retreat is just to draft out your ascension plan, meaning that you would choose 2 to 3 areas like health, relationships, recreation, service, whatever that is for you. What the heck happened here? That's so
sorry.
weird.
I think I did that.
Oh,
I don't know what is happening with my
those
phone.
blue marks? Oh my goodness.
Yes. My phone is so weird right now, so I apologize.
That is bizarre. Okay. Let me
Let
just
me erase.
clear all drawings. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's 2 different formats that you can use, but you don't have to use them. I mean, you might just write in your journal, I'm going to focus on family. This is my 4-week goal. This is my weekly, however you want to do it. Some people like to have structure and others just kind of like to free flow. But you do want to have a structure in that you want to get it on the paper and you want a specific time marker. Okay, daily, weekly, 4-week, and long term for each focus area and each intention that you have. So your ascension plans would be to complete pages 1 through 4 and 8. I don't think this is right. I don't think these pages are right, you guys. They may or may not be. Yeah, I think they're a little bit off. But it would be either the triangle formats or just the written out kind of outline format that you would use. You don't have to do both because that would just be repeating and that would not be necessary. Okay, and then you've got your weekly individual calls. So you'll want to put that in your calendar. And then if you're a vision board person, I just put it on there because since it's January, that could be helpful to anchoring your visions with visuals, words that connect with some of the things that you want. So whatever that is for you, if you want fulfillment and connection in your relationships, you might find words that say connection or fulfillment. You may find pictures of people that are looking happy and connected. So it really, that's a more artistic sort of thing, and it's optional. But the ascension plan, I would say, is not optional. It's really important. Okay, so you got to take the time to draft it out and decide what it is that you want. Otherwise, you run the risk of flailing, okay? And we don't want that. You want to give your intuition time markers and specific goals to hit so that you can actually hit them. All right, so that's that. I want to do a quick debrief of our time on Sunday. And as you look ahead at the next 4 or 5 months, what are some things based on where you are today that you will start doing? Okay, so this is the start, stop, continue, change. What will you start doing? What will you stop doing? What is working that you will continue doing? How will you change what you've been doing to upgrade your life? So just take a moment and you can jot some ideas down, and we're going to be really quick, laser, as each one of you shares what you will start, stop, continue, and change moving forward in 2019 and connected to your ascension plan, your specific focus areas. Okay, let's kind of wrap it up with your responses. And then whoever's ready to share first, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us what your stop, start, continue, and change. Start, stop, continue, and change.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, Inez, go for it.
Okay, what I'm going to start is more decluttering, because she was correct. When things aren't in their place, I have brain fog, and that may be where my focus goes everywhere, and I can't focus. I'm going to stop overanalyzing everything, and I'm going to continue learning and talking to like-minded people, and I'm going to change being afraid for my inward self being visible, and to journal more.
Beautiful. So as we share these, just know that what you're choosing is the most important thing. So even though you might struggle with this, that, and the other, what you're choosing to start, stop, continue, and change is what is going to really change your life for the better. All right, thanks, Inez. Okay, who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Michelle.
Okay, I'm going to start I want to set up an appointment with Amanda because she was saying something about I have ancestral issues that I needed to work on that had to do with abundance. I want to start with that with her, and also start.
Okay, Michelle, hang on. I'm going to stop you. So apart from anyone else, what will you do like on a daily basis? What are some of your ways of being that you will work with starting to do?
I'm not going to be afraid to talk to my husband about my big vision. I guess I want to start more of those. I actually had one with him last weekend and it felt good. So I guess putting the fear aside and talking more about vision with my husband, does that resonate? Okay. And then I'm going to stop devaluing myself and spending money unnecessarily. I'm going to continue my self-care rituals, and I want to how to change. I'm going to stop the negative self-talk, but becoming more vulnerable to others, and continuing to put myself out there to others.
Nice. Do you see the difference there, Michelle? Like, okay, so yes, follow up with Amanda. That's amazing. But I really want you to focus and take ownership of what you can do yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Am I muted?
Yes. Is that you, Linda?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see me or not. I have these.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, I'm on my phone. So I am going to start being trusting. I'm going to stop being angry and patient that I can't do certain things that this generation does that I can't do. I'm going to continue being loving and try to do more meditating and journaling. And I'm going to change by not playing small anymore and playing to win and putting myself out there.
Nice. What was the stop doing? It kind of cut out a little bit.
I'm going to stop being impatient and angry that I'm not of this technological generation, that I need to stop being frustrated by it.
Okay. Okay. So stop letting that be a block for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks for sharing, Linda.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Okay, who's next? You can just unmute and share
can go next. Are there two of us at the same time or no?
No, I think it's just you. You're on.
Okay, so I'm going to stop drinking wine because I allowed myself to start doing that again with all the stress I've been under. So I'm going to stop doing that. I am really excited to start doing some of the root chakra work that Amanda was talking about, to like the color red and root chakra work, and I want to look up those meditations. I want to start doing that on a daily basis. I've been thinking about it since the retreat, just to work on grounding myself. And I'm going to continue working on believing that others are there, that I am supported and connected. And what I'm changing is, this is something that came to me in the meditation on the retreat, when you were saying, you know, come up with, what would you tell your former self when she started this class? So I'm going to work on that, which is changing and reminding myself that the way I do things is just fine and there's no right way. So that's it.
Okay, so some self-acceptance and opening up for support. And I love that connection is part of your declaration. I think that's going to serve you well. All right, thank you, Carol. Okay. Laura?
Hi.
I saw you were unmuted.
Yeah, I am. I'm having trouble with my last one. I think is why it took me so long, but maybe it'll come out when we start to do this. So I'm going to start trusting my intuition, asking for help with my kids so that I can get time to do what I need to do for self-care. And I'm also going to start to budget and track my spending, which is a habit that I fell out of. So it's really important to me to tell my money where to go now. And what I'm going to stop doing is reacting immediately so that I can practice patience. Here comes my cat, Mr. Belvedere, of course. Just in time. Here he comes. There he is.
Aww. I want some of this camera too.
Yeah. I'm going to stop feeling guilty when I need to take care of myself or get something done or work on my business. And I'm going to stop questioning myself or searching for the next thing. And I'm going to continue to work on my business and my blog. I'm going to continue my self-care daily as well. And then the thing I'm going to change, this is the hard part for me, and it's kind of ironic that I wrote this down because this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to stop overanalyzing, but I'm going to upgrade it to just analysis instead of over-analysis. So I think the analysis part of it is good, like we were talking about on Sunday. The perfectionism is there, but it's stopping me from moving forward. So I need to reconstruct it in a way that's more productive. I don't know, but I'm a little stuck on this one.
Yeah, I think, your tendency to really look at things closely can be a good quality. So in order to upgrade that, you can be in the energy of exploration and curiosity.
Okay.
Specific situations, so that as you approach it or as you're in it, you're not spinning, Mm-hmm. You're instead just kind of looking around and being an observer, and that's more in the patience energy, being in flow. Mm-hmm. And I think that will be a good upgrade to what you already have, because it's not a bad quality. It's a good quality. You just want to keep it in balance.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels out of balance right now. So
yeah. So just being in the energy of exploration and curiosity is really going to help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. And we have Nicole. You're our final share.
Muted now?
You are on.
Oh, now I'm unmuted. Okay, hello.
Hi.
Okay, mine are pretty short and sweet. So I'm going to start reaching out to others again. This has been kind of a start-stop, so I'm going to make it a firmer start. Start reaching out to others again and make new connections. I'm going to stop assuming people's intentions. I'm going to continue practicing self-compassion, and I'm going to change my reactions to responses.
Okay. Very clear. There's a lot of depth there, Nicole, which is perfect for you. I don't have issues with those. I think they're you know where you need to go. So that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, just super clear. I mean, there it is.
Yeah, it was funny because I was really having a struggle at first, and then it was just like bam, and it was, so I knew that since the simplicity of it was truth for me. So yeah,
and that it was. So yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's good to check in with yourself to realize that you are always choosing to do things, to start things, to stop things. You can always change things, and this goes for everybody. So no matter what's going on. All right, let's move on. Okay, so today we were talking about, we're going to talk about intuition a little bit. We're going to do some practices. Nicole, you're going to want to go back and get the laser coaching call time, which is 8:40 for you, Mondays. I'll post that in the Facebook group. All right. So your intuition and your sensitivity, you guys already know this. You know, you get information, you just want to learn how to listen to it, how to begin using the intuition to answer your questions and to get guidance. And that's kind of that invisible feminine energy. It comes in even when you're not asking a question. So you just want to not limit yourself by the questions that you ask. Know that all the information that you need will come in. And it will come in from, you know, people that you talk to. It's like the information that you got on Sunday, for example. You didn't ask for that, right? You didn't plan for it. You may have asked for it. You know, you may have asked for help. You may have asked for guidance or answers, but you didn't have a specific question, and yet you received valuable information. So that's a lot of how intuition works, is that you are always supported, and that support is going to come in various forms. But you will not know what that's going to look like unless you continue moving forward like you are doing. Showing up, connecting, listening, learning. There's a structure to intuition, so as nebulous and free-flowing and random as it is, there's also a structure to it within your own understanding and languaging of it. So as you practice, you'll get to know how it shows up for you, how you can start to decode symbols, how you can start to decode how you experience the signs that come in. It may be visual. It may be during your sleep. It may be, you know, when at nighttime you get a lot of information coming in. So you're going to realize as you take care of yourself, as you create an environment which is conducive to receiving high energy information and experiences, it's going to come in and it's going to be a little bit more consistent for you. So if you get symbols, you're going to start to understand that, every time I see like a spider symbol, whether it's, you know, literally like I see a spider on the wall, or if I visually tune into a spider, what that means for me is going to be different than what it means for you. Like a spider may not even mean anything for you. Okay, but for me it does. And through my understanding of that symbol, I know that it's a warning. It means that there's something that needs to be shifted. Okay, so it's very symbolic, very subtle. and fragmented, but there is a structure that you will realize and put together as you practice. Okay, so trusting your intuition. This is a big one for all of you because you're all intuitive in different ways. And the biggest challenge is trusting the information that you get instead of doubting it, questioning it, seeking validation around it. You want to get to the place where you're not asking every person, like, is this what, what do you think of this? Is this true? You will be centered and you will know what to do, what the answer is. So as you start this and as you get back into trusting yourself, know that there are no coincidences. Everything that happens, good, bad, in between, is meant to happen, is happening for you, okay? And your higher self, your spiritual self, whatever you want to call it, subconscious self, it knows what's important to you and will decide what will be relevant and valuable for you. But that requires you to trust that. So even if you don't know, like, I don't know where to place this piece of information yet, sometimes it helps to write it down. Sometimes it helps to just take a mental note of what's coming in, and you will begin to see that trail of breadcrumbs that is laid out before you. Because that's how it is. It's just, you're not given the whole picture, you're given pieces along the way. And just trusting that your higher self, your spiritual connection, is going to lead you to where you need to go. So as you do this, you want to pay attention to what stands out to you, what strikes you. So this is different from an emotional trigger, okay? So if we are emotionally triggered, we know what that feels like. It's usually a lower energy emotion that surfaces. It could be anger, it could be insecurity, it could be impatience. That's different, okay? That's a personal trigger. Usually when intuitive information is coming in, there's not a lot of emotional charge to it. There can be emotion, but there's not the charge. Okay, so there is a difference, and you're just going to want to pay attention to what stands out to you. I mean, you could be out and about and notice, I wonder why I keep looking at that particular, symbol, or I wonder why that particular book keeps showing up. I've seen it at the bookstore. I saw it as I was in a coffee shop and somebody had it on the table. What stands out to you? And as you pay attention to what stands out, know that what is standing out is also connected to the energy that you're holding. So if you are, I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you wanted something. Say you wanted a car and you started, looking at cars like that. And then everywhere you go, you start noticing similar cars. Have you guys ever had an experience like that where you focus on something and then you start seeing it everywhere? Yeah, it's like that. So you really want to pay attention to what is standing out to you and what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on how mad you are about something, or how mean that person was to you, or, if you're coming from that energy, you're going to see more reflection of that outside of you. And that's something to really take ownership of, is what you decide to focus on, because that also leads your intuition. Okay? So you want to just have fun with it. You want to be explorative as you look at your intuition and how it shows up for you. Okay, so we're going to do a quick exercise. We can call this intuitive exercise number 2. We're going to run through, I think we have about 3 today, if we have time. And these are just some things that you can add to your toolbox, because sometimes people wonder, well, like, how can I start to tune in if they don't really know how to tune in when it's just coming in from all different directions. So some people like a more practical approach of, okay, what is an exercise I can do? So this one, I call it the focus point exercise. And I used to use these exercises a lot, but I don't use them as much anymore because the information that comes in for me it's focused on what I want. I mean, even like with my back, as it flared up, it's like that was meant to happen. I got what I needed. I made it through. So anything that comes up for you, you're going to be led to where you need to go. And I don't need as much of, I'm going to sit down and do this focus point exercise. I just get the information, and you will too. Okay. But this is one exercise that you can kind of practice with. So the way you do this is you just close your eyes. So just close your eyes for a moment. And then you begin to tune in to, you can think of a particular question or situation that you would like guidance or clarity around. Okay, so hopefully you have that question or that whatever that situation is in your mind, in your heart. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to open your eyes and see where you focus. And so don't change your gaze from where it is. Just look at what it is that your eyes fell upon when you opened them. Okay. And then you're going to start to notice impressions about what you're seeing. It can be an object. It can be a collection of objects. It can be, you might notice the way the light is looking. You might notice colors. So start to take impressions of what you're seeing. Tune into your 5 senses of sight, touch, taste, sound, or smell. You may notice even some emotional energy that comes in as you focus on this object. So just take a moment and jot down what you're seeing, what you're feeling. You may even notice sensations in your body as you do this, even sounds. It may give rise to memories or other connections or other visions. And so as you jot down what you're getting, it's just you're quickly doing this. So it's unfiltered. You're just writing down stream of consciousness quickly without the mind getting in the way. I'm seeing this, it looks like that, it sounds like this, I'm getting this image. So it's really quick so that your mind is out of the way and you're just recording information as you get it. And then after that, you can look at, okay, what was coming through here? Like what is the overall message or answer here. And sometimes, you know, you could sum it up in one word, like what is the overall feeling or message that I'm getting as I gaze upon this focus point? What is the overall energy? If it was a yes, no question, was the energy yes? Was the energy no? Was it expanded? Was it contracted and closed? So this is one way to just tune in and start practicing with using your intuition and using what's around you. Because a lot of times people think that your intuition is coming from a place that you don't see. And sometimes it does, but sometimes, you know, spirit uses the objects that we have in front of us because they're tangible and can be communicated with in a different way. So this is one way that you can practice with. Does anyone want to share what they got or what they saw? So we can get an idea of like what this might sound like, what this might look like. Laura?
I'll try it.
Yeah.
I asked a question about whether I should continue to do something or not that sometimes triggers me and sometimes is good for me. And so when I open my eyes, there's a doorknob on the doors to the office that's right here that was all I could see when I opened my eyes. And this doorknob doesn't turn. It's functional because you need it to open and close the door more easily, but it doesn't turn. And so I'm making this doorknob the most important doorknob in the house, and it's not the most important doorknob in the house. So I need to change my mindset to make this thing part of my life, but not the most important and most visible part of my life.
Okay, so you got your answer.
I think so.
Yes. Excellent. So that's how it's done. It's not like this big thing. You know, you can use what's around you to get information. You know, and another way to do it, if you want to really remove your mind from it, is you might have 2 questions, for example, and you can blindly read for those. Like you might put them in envelopes. So you don't know which question you're answering. And then just focus on the one in one envelope and, okay, I'm going to tune into answering this question that I don't know which one it is. And then do, you know, your focus point exercise read. So that's another way to do it. Anyone else? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to yes or no questions. So, you know, this is another one that I use from time to time when I'm trying to figure out like choosing one or the other, like Laura mentioned, or if you have just a specific yes, no question. So there are 2 different ways that we'll look at today. One is the pendulum and the other one is the object contrast. So if you have like a necklace or something, you know, that's all you need, but you may have like a pendulum. What I use is just a gold necklace that's got a pearl on the end of it. So that's what I use. I mean, I have pendulums, but this is what feels right for me. And you can, you know, find something of yours that you don't have to go out and buy anything where you can use as your pendulum reading or dowsing device. Okay, so this is intuitive exercise number 3. Now, if you have one and you want to go run and get it, or if you're wearing something, you can use that. If not, that's okay. You can try this later, but I'll just run through and, you know, if you have something great, if not, you can try it later. All right, so I'm giving you just the basics because this is so much more involved. But for the purpose of getting some yes/no responses and just practicing with seeing how easy it can be to get some clear information. Okay, so you can copy down this little diagram here with it's like a cross, right? You've got yes and no. You've got that little circle in the middle right here. This symbolizes where your pendulum hangs right above. And then you've got this diagonal kind of dotted line here, which is the ready position. So your pendulum moves, obviously, okay? And you're gonna start with, swinging it in that ready for question. Okay, so I'm swinging it in a diagonal type of motion. And I'm actually directing it to do that. And, as you do this, you may question yourself like, oh, am I telling it to do this? Am I literally like moving it? Am I directing it? And the answer is yes, you are at first. So when you start to train it, and get in touch with it, it takes a little bit of guidance from you. So the idea and the way it works is that it's tuning into your higher self. You're receiving messages from your higher self. It's coming through and it's showing up this way. Just like with people using tarot cards or any other form of divination, it's like that, okay? So start with the ready position, okay, and just swing it that way. And then you're gonna say, show me yes. And you're gonna notice that it will start to move front and back, okay? That's the yes position. Okay, and then you can say, show me no, like mine's already moving because I'm thinking it. So show me no is gonna go side to side. Okay, so the way to begin testing this and building your confidence around this is to ask kind of silly questions like, is my name Karen? Well, your name isn't, so it's gonna say no. But mine goes to yes, right? If I say, do I have 5 kids, it switches. Do you see that? Or can you guys see that? Okay, if I ask, do I have 2 children? And then it starts to kind of shift, right? And then it goes front back because I do have 2 children, okay? This is one easy way that allows you to remove your mind, but you're still connected in that you're focusing on a specific question. Okay, so that's kind of how you get in touch with looking at how the pendulum moves, how it responds. You can start asking questions like, is my name Bill? It's going to say no. Do I live in California? Yes. And once you get those responses that are accurate based on those simple, silly questions, then you can start to ask the questions you want to know. Okay. And then as you're holding this, I didn't mention, usually it's about 3 to 5 inches from where. So you usually don't go the whole length of, if it's like a necklace, you're going to have a faster movement if it's a shorter distance. So just a little piece of info. Okay, so that's kind of how you set it up. The pendulum is, it can be much more involved where you're actually hanging over a grid like this little half circle that you see here, where you have negative polarities on the left and positive polarities on the right. So you can test many different things from emotions to foods to situations to, mercury levels, like whatever you want. But this is much more involved and we're not going there. We're just looking at it in terms of yes, no, but that's kind of, a little step beyond. With your pendulum, it's important to program it. And this is connected to your intention. So I'm actually not going to read the whole darn thing for you because it's quite long. But it is important because as you ask questions of your pendulum, you don't want any other entities or forces coming in, as sometimes they can try to do. And so before you really start to answer some of your burning questions and some of your real questions, there's a program where you can set the energy of your pendulum and your dowsing system. And that can be found, there's more information at letterstorobin.files.word, which is more dowsing information. It's very simple, very easy to understand, but I've also adapted a file from there, which is the primary program to set it up, where you're basically declaring what information is okay to come in and what information is not. Okay, so that I can post in the group. You want to know that you may not have access to all questions that you want to know. And that goes with any type of intuitive exercise. We don't always get access. So it's important to ask permission. Okay, so may I, can I, should I? That kind of breaks down like what it sounds like. And this is from the Letters to Robin as well. And I think it's a great way to break it down because, we're not meant to see all the answers at once. But you can get information. So the may I is, do I have permission and support to proceed and be involved? And you would test that with your yes or no, with your pendulum. Do I have permission and support to be involved in this situation as you focus on it? And you're either going to get a yes or no. If you get a no, you can ask questions about the no. If you get a yes, you can move forward. Do I have the ability to successfully get answers without outside influences coming in? Yes, no. Should I, considering all aspects related to this situation, would it be appropriate, proper, and suitable to get answers at this time? Yes or no? Because sometimes it's not. Say you really wanted to, like, say someone had a love interest and they wanted to know, like, is this person cheating on me? Is this person being faithful? It's like, well, it may not be suitable for you to know. Or, I think I shared this example. I don't know if I shared it with you guys before, but when I was pregnant, I really wanted to know the gender of my second baby before the sonogram or the ultrasound. That was my impatience and my control showing up. Like, I want to know what to buy. I want to know what colors and clothes and all this. I want to plan the room. And I didn't have access to that information. And even, a good friend of mine who's a medium, we checked in and she's like, I don't see anything. Like, I don't, we don't have access to that. So there was a reason why, and what I thought was a girl, actually, what I wanted to be a girl turned out to be a boy. And that was the way it was meant to be, so we don't always get the access immediately. And sometimes we are required, and it's meant in our highest good to wait. Okay, so that's the pendulum. And any question that you have that's yes or no, you can test it and see how you feel. And start with small things, and just kind of check in and see how it responds with you. See how you feel. It may not resonate with you to use a pendulum, and that's totally fine. But it's something that some people get curious about, and it's a really easy tool to use. Okay, last one is object contrast, which is I use this one still today, but I use it in a different way. Okay, so this is intuitive exercise number 4. For this one, you're simply going to, in your mind's eye, picture the image of a live object. So it could be a flower, it could be a piece of fruit, a plant, a tree, but it's got to be something that's living. or, you know, has the quality that it can be alive. So just allow it to, you can close your eyes and do this, or you can picture it on the page in front of you. But just choose one of those live objects and see what it looks like to you in this moment. So take note of color, of quality, meaning, quality of life. What state is this live object in? What does it look like? What does it feel like maybe if you were to touch it? If it's a food item, what might it taste like at this state that you see it in? And go with your first image. Okay, so just take a moment to jot down quickly what some of the qualities were of this object. Size, color, smell, flavor, weight, quality, condition, whatever you saw. Okay. And then the second part of this is the contrast. So right next to it, you can close your eyes again and you're going to picture another object of a similar type. So if you saw an apple for your first one, you're going to picture a different kind of apple. And it's going to be whatever shows up for you. If you saw a flower in the first one, you're going to picture a flower and see what that looks like for you. And you're just going to see what's there. Notice the size, color, quality. And then, you know, you can record that description or some of the notes for that second object on the right. Okay, so now, now is the fun part, okay? So let's go to the next piece here. We're just about done, but we'll get what you guys are answering here. So you want to note which one of these two objects symbolizes a yes energy and which one symbolizes a no. Or which one which one embodies more life or not. Okay, so whichever one symbolizes yes energy, go ahead and circle it. So if I were to do this, I would, you know, circle my the object on the left. Okay, because this one symbolizes yes energy to me, just as I look at it. Because it's open, it's blooming. Whereas the bud might symbolize no energy to me. because it's closed, it's tight. That's my interpretation. Yours may be different. If you were picturing two apples, you may have a red apple. You may have a green apple. You know, like, I don't know which one is yes or no for you. You're going to feel into that. Okay. So what question, can someone share real quick what you got on your first object and your second object? I'm curious because, okay, who was, Michelle?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah. My first object was a little light gray bunny, gray and white, small yet strong, very curious and observant, and gentle. And my my other one was a wolf, a big gray, mean, angry, hungry, like stalking wolf.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So which one symbolized yes energy for you?
Oh, the bunny for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Let's get one more just so we get kind of a picture of just how differently things can show up as far as images go. Linda, is that you?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you get?
I also had a flower, and the first one was a large red, voluptuous, growing, developing rose, soft but had thorns, smelled sweet and fragrant, blooming and growing alive and confident. And then the other one was a small white fragrant bush of roses with bees pollinating on it.
Wow.
And I chose the red one.
As your yes.
Yes, it felt a little like backwards, but I think it's right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Linda. So I know we're at the top of the hour. I want to share what question you guys were answering. Just to have this be complete here. Okay. So the question that you just answered was, will it rain in Carlsbad, California today? The first object was the object, number one is the answer. So if that was a yes, that's the answer that you tuned into. So what I'm showing you here is the answer that's accurate as far as today. If you got yes energy for your first object, then you answered that accurately, because as I look outside, it rained this morning, it rained yesterday. And what's interesting is with my other group, my Thursday group, it wasn't raining. And I actually, for you guys, I had to switch the answer because it was raining. So for them, they got the no on the left, which was right, because it was not going to rain that day. For you guys, it did. So that's the answer. Did that compute for you guys?
Very interesting.
For you guys? So that's kind of a fun exercise. And the way that I use it now is, sometimes I'll just do a blind read, and I'll just tune into something, and I'll get one image, and I'll look at the quality of that image. So like if I were Michelle and I got that bunny and I were only looking at that one object, then that's more of a yes energy to me. Whereas if I, asked that question and I got just the wolf, then I would probably feel into that as no energy, as she did. So, you're going to kind of flex with this and use it as you see fit. But there is a structure to it that you're going to realize as you practice more. So as you do practice with your buddies, you can use some of these strategies to see what you tune into and how the information shows up. But these are just some ways to lead the information to come in a clear way that you feel a little bit more confident and safe with, because it does have a little bit of a structure to it. So that's it. Those are the 4. There was actually one more, but we don't have time for that one. So we're going to close here. The 3 burning questions that you have, we're changing those into I am statements. Okay. Because I want you to know that the questions that you ask that are connected to what you want, you can have. Okay. So it's just a matter of you switching into, I claim that. Okay. So if you want to be abundant, financially abundant, you want to be making this amount of money, you want to have this particular thing happen, I have that. Okay. I am so grateful that I have X, Y, and Z. Be specific with it. So whatever thing that you were asking for, you're going to claim it in an I am statement. So it's just a little bit of editing, but what it does is it puts you in that energy, the source energy, God energy, whatever you want to call it. You are co-creating that rather than passively asking for it. Okay? So that's the difference. So just a little bit of editing there. You're going to continue intuitive practice with your buddy. You can ask any question you want, or you can continue with your burning questions. It doesn't matter, but just practice with each other and give impressions blindly at this point, so that you're giving impressions for a question that you don't know. And if you choose to share that, totally fine. Just to get some validation or connect the dots with each other, that's okay too. Okay, so revising, intuitive practice with your buddy, ascension plan. So know that you don't have to do this all in one week. It's just, these are some things that are important to do over the course of this month. So by the end of the month, you're going to want to be complete with your ascension plan. By the time we meet on Monday, that would be this Monday for your 10-minute laser coaching call, you're going to want to have at least one focus area complete. At least one, okay, by Monday, so that we have a place to go, and I can kind of help you refine it if needed. But that's it. So you guys are like you're on your way. Like, this is where the rubber meets the road. And those are your laser coaching times, and I'll post them in the group. So that's it for today. I can't believe it's already January 15th. So time is moving. So the urgency is there to really be laser focused on what it is that you're creating, because we are always creating. Always, 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 every day. All right, ladies, I'm going to close our call. Let's unmute so you can say goodbye. Where's my fun little... Are you guys getting more familiar with Zoom too? Is it feeling a little better?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm on my phone, so I think you can see me today.
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah,
I'm doing computer because this one's 2012, so I need a new one.
You need a little update there, a little upgrade.
All the world's different. Oh
yeah,
God.
put that on your list, your get-to-do list this week.
Yes, thank you.
All right, ladies, have an excellent week, and I'll see you in the group.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye all.